On September 11th, 2025, the world of Chinese entertainment lost one of its brightest yet most enigmatic stars. Yu Menglong, known affectionately as Alan Yu to his international fans, fell to his death in Beijing at the tender age of 37. What authorities hastily labeled an accidental fall from a fifth-floor window amid traces of alcohol quickly became a canvas for whispers, doubts, and profound sorrow that transcended borders. His death, ruled accidental yet shadowed by allegations of cover-ups and deeper mysteries, left millions reeling. But it was on a crisp autumn day weeks later that the true weight of his absence crystallized during his funeral, a spectacle of grief, reverence, and revelations that no one who witnessed it would ever forget. The funeral, held in a sprawling memorial hall on the outskirts of Beijing, transformed into something far greater than a farewell. It became a final act in the unfinished drama of Yu Menglong's life, a tapestry woven with tears, secrets, and an outpouring of love that felt almost otherworldly. As mourners gathered under overcast skies, the air thick with the scent of incense and white chrysanthemums, the event unfolded like a meticulously scripted epic, revealing layers of his legacy that even his closest confidants had only glimpsed. Yu Menglong's journey began in Urumqi, Xinjiang, on June 15, 1988. The son of a modest family, he possessed an innate charisma that propelled him from reality television competitions like My Show and Superboy into the heart of Chinese drama. His breakout role as the charming ninth prince in Go Princess Go in 2015 catapulted him to stardom, followed by memorable performances in Eternal Love, The Legend of White Snake, and others. With his boyish smile, soulful eyes, and a voice that could melt hearts in both acting and singing, he embodied the archetype of the modern idol, talented, vulnerable, and endlessly captivating. Yet beneath the glamour lay a man haunted by the pressures of fame, rumored struggles with the industry's shadows, and a quiet quest for authenticity in a world that often demanded performance over truth. His death on that fateful September 11th shattered illusions. Initial reports spoke of a tragic mishap after a night of reflection, perhaps too much drink amid personal turmoil. But as days turned to weeks, online forums buzzed with theories, a silenced voice against industry corruption, a fall that was no accident, connections to powerful figures, and even whispers of espionage or betrayal involving those close to him. His management's swift statement ruling out foul play only fueled the fire. Fans worldwide lit virtual candles, trending hashtags that blended mourning with demands for justice. The funeral would become the stage where these emotions collided with reality in ways that defied expectation. The morning of the ceremony dawned with an unusual hush over the city. Security was tight, yet the gates opened to thousands of fans who had traveled from across China and beyond. Many wore white armbands, clutching portraits of Yu Menglong from his most iconic scenes. Inside the hall, the atmosphere was heavy with anticipation. The coffin, adorned with intricate carvings and surrounded by floral tributes spelling out his name in glowing lights, stood at the center. A massive screen played a montage of his life. Childhood clips, behind-the-scenes laughter, and raw footage from his music videos where his voice soared with raw emotion. As the proceedings began, a procession of luminaries entered, each step echoing the sorrow of an industry in mourning. Leading them was a cadre of A-list actors, whose presence alone sent ripples through the crowd. Yang Mi, the queen of Chinese television, arrived with red-rimmed eyes, her usual poise cracked by genuine grief. She had shared the screen with Yu Menglong in projects that showcased their electric chemistry. Whispers spread as she approached the coffin, placing a single white rose and lingering, her lips moving in what seemed like a private prayer or perhaps unspoken words about shared secrets from their time together. Next came Li Jian, whose brooding intensity had made him a fan favorite in romantic dramas. He stood tall, but his shoulders shook as he bowed deeply. Rumors had long circulated of a close brotherhood between Li Jian and Yu Menglong, forged in late-night script readings and mutual support during industry lows. Li Xian's eulogy, delivered in a voice thick with emotion, recounted a story that left the audience breathless. Menglong once told me, under a starry sky during a film shoot in the mountains, that he felt like a wanderer in his own life. He chased roles that mirrored his soul's unrest, but fame chained him. On September 11th, perhaps he finally sought freedom in a way we cannot comprehend. The hall fell silent, the weight of those words hanging like mist. The surprises mounted. Veteran actor Zhang Ziyi, known for her elegance and depth, appeared unexpectedly. Her presence was a mind-blowing nod to cross-generational respect. She spoke of Yu Menglong's directorial ambitions, how he had confided in her about wanting to helm a film exposing the human cost of celebrity. "He saw the cracks in our glittering world," she said, her voice steady yet laced with sorrow. "His fall may have been from that window, but his spirit climbed heights we are only beginning to understand." Attendees exchanged glances, sensing layers beneath her words, hints at the controversies swirling since his death. International stars bridged cultures in a scene straight from a blockbuster. Korean heartthrob Lee Min-ho, who had collaborated with Yu Menglong on a joint project years earlier, flew in despite a packed schedule. His appearance ignited a frenzy of flashes from permitted media. Lee Min-ho shared a poignant anecdote. During a joint press event, Yu Menglong had quietly pulled him aside, discussing the universal loneliness of idols. "He laughed it off, but his eyes held storms," Lee Min-ho recalled. "Today, we honor not just the actor, but the man who fought those storms until the end." The emotional delivery, blending Mandarin and English, moved even stoic security personnel. But the most jaw-dropping moment came with the arrival of a figure whose involvement no one anticipated. Dilraba Dilmuret, the Uyghur beauty whose star shone alongside Yu Menglong's in several projects, entered accompanied by a small entourage. Their on-screen romance had fueled fan fantasies for years, but off-screen, sources close to the event revealed a deeper bond marked by late-night conversations about identity, heritage, and the pressures unique to stars from diverse backgrounds like Xinjiang. As she knelt before the coffin, a hush fell deeper than before. She placed a traditional Xinjiang scarf, embroidered with symbols of resilience, and began to sing a soft, haunting melody from one of his songs. Tears streamed down her face, and for a moment it felt as if time suspended. Whispers rippled. Was there more to their connection? Had she known of the demons he battled before that September night? The funeral procession itself was the stuff of legends. As the coffin was carried out for the final walk, a light rain began to fall, as if the heavens themselves wept. Fans lined the route for miles, holding umbrellas and portraits aloft. What followed was a series of mind-blowing scenes that hooked every soul present. Midway through the procession, a group of young fans released hundreds of white doves, but one dove, pure as snow, refused to fly. It landed gently on the coffin and remained there, unmoving, as if guarding Yu Menglong's spirit. Attendees gasped, some falling to their knees in awe. Videos of the moment spread like wildfire, sparking debates about signs from beyond. Inside the hall earlier, a surprise video message played. It was Yu Menglong himself, recorded months before his death, intended perhaps for a different occasion. In it, he looked weary yet resolute, speaking directly to the camera. "If I am gone one day, know that my journey was never just about the lights. There are truths hidden in the scripts of our lives. Seek them. Live freely." The recording cut off abruptly, leaving the audience in stunned silence. Speculation exploded. What truths? Did this tie into the doubts surrounding September 11th? His family, visibly shaken, had reportedly debated including it, but in the end, it became the emotional crescendo that no scripted drama could match. Interspersed with these spectacles were intimate, heart-wrenching vignettes. A childhood friend from Urumqi recounted how young Menglong would sing to the desert winds, dreaming of stages far away. His mother, supported by relatives, shared stories of his quiet philanthropy, funding education for underprivileged kids in Xinjiang, acts kept secret to avoid the spotlight's glare. Colleagues revealed his struggles with insomnia and the toll of relentless schedules, painting a portrait of a man who gave everything until nothing remained. As the day waned, the burial rites blended tradition with modernity. Monks chanted sutras, their voices rising in a chorus that echoed through the hills. Family members burned paper offerings, replicas of his favorite scripts, a miniature film camera, even a model of the stage he loved. The air filled with smoke, carrying prayers skyward. In a final, unforgettable gesture, Li Xian and Yang Mi led a group of actors in a symbolic last walk, carrying lanterns along a path lined with his film posters. Each step represented a chapter of his career, from humble beginnings to meteoric rise, ending at a memorial stone inscribed with his name and the date September 11th, 2025. The emotional peaks did not. The echoes of the final procession lingered long after the lanterns dimmed. What began as a ceremony of farewell evolved into an all-night vigil of shared stories where the boundaries between public mourning and private revelation blurred in the most unexpected ways. As night fell over the memorial grounds, thousands remained, huddled under makeshift tents and glowing phone screens, refusing to let the legend slip quietly into the dark. This extended gathering became the heart of Yu Menglong's final farewell, a space where sorrow intertwined with astonishing moments of connection, curiosity, and catharsis that no one could have scripted. Among the late arrivals was actor Xiao Zhan, whose meteoric rise paralleled Yu Menglong's in many ways. Xiao Zhan had collaborated with him briefly on a variety show years earlier, and their easy camaraderie had been captured in viral clips of laughter and impromptu singing. Now standing before the assembled crowd, Xiao Zhan's voice trembled as he recounted a private conversation from that time. Menglong pulled me aside after a grueling rehearsal and said, "Brother, the stage gives us wings, but it can also clip them when we fly too close to the sun." I laughed then, thinking it was just poetic flair. Today I understand the weight he carried. The confession hung in the cool air, prompting nods and fresh waves of tears. Fans who had shipped their on-screen personas found themselves confronting the real human cost behind the glamour. Xiao Zhan then led a group sing-along of one of Yu Menglong's lesser-known ballads, his clear tenor blending with hundreds of voices. The melody rose like a prayer, filling the voids left by unanswered questions about that September 11th evening. Not far away, a cluster of international guests added layers of global resonance. Thai actor Bright Vacharawat, who had crossed paths with Yu Menglong at an Asian entertainment summit, shared how Menglong's quiet advice on navigating cultural expectations had helped him during a personal crisis. He spoke of home, of roots in Xinjiang that grounded him even as Beijing's lights blinded. His fall reminded me that even the strongest trees can bend until they break. Bright's words, translated live for the Chinese attendees, bridged divides and sparked quiet discussions about the universal pressures on young stars across Asia. The presence of these figures transformed the funeral from a national event into a transnational lament, underscoring how Yu Menglong's influence had quietly rippled outward. As the hours deepened, family members opened up in ways that felt profoundly intimate amid the crowd. Yu Menglong's sister, her face etched with exhaustion and grace, stepped forward with a small, worn notebook. It contained sketches, song lyrics, and fragmented journal entries from the months leading to September 11th, 2025. One entry, read aloud in a breaking voice, described a dream where he walked a long, misty path lined with familiar faces from his dramas, only to realize at the end that he was alone, yet at peace. He wrote of feeling watched, of scripts that mirrored his reality too closely, she shared. On that last day, he called me, sounding lighter than he had in years. He spoke of letting go. We thought it was artistic reflection. Now we wonder if he sensed the end approaching in ways we never imagined. The revelation sent a collective shiver through the listeners. It humanized the superstar, revealing a man grappling with inner turmoil beneath the polished exterior of red carpets and fan meets. Interwoven with these testimonies were flashbacks shared by directors and crew members who had worked closest with him. One veteran cinematographer described a late-night shoot for The Legend of White Snake, where Yu Menglong insisted on performing a dangerous stunt himself despite offers of a double. He said the pain had to be real for the audience to feel it, the man recalled, eyes distant. That dedication defined him, but it also exhausted him. After his death, we found unused footage where he broke character, staring into the lens with an expression of such raw vulnerability that we couldn't bear to watch it again. Clips from that footage played on a secondary screen, drawing crowds into hushed awe. The unedited moments captured Yu Menglong not as the idol, but as a young man questioning his path, his eyes reflecting the same quiet intensity that had captivated millions. The emotional intensity peaked during a candlelight ceremony organized spontaneously by fans and stars alike. Hundreds of white candles formed a massive heart shape around a central portrait of Yu Menglong taken during his prime. As each person lit one, they whispered personal messages. Yang Mi returned to the circle, her earlier composure giving way to open sobs as she placed her candle. "You taught me to find strength in softness," she murmured. Li Jian followed, his lantern steady despite trembling hands. "Your light guided so many. may it now guide you home. Even security personnel, moved beyond protocol, joined in, their presence a testament to the unifying power of grief. Amid the glow, a mind-blowing twist unfolded that no attendee would soon forget. A young woman, unknown to most but recognized by insiders as a former assistant, approached the family with a sealed envelope. Inside were handwritten notes from Yu Menglong, penned days before September 11th, addressed to his fans and colleagues. One passage read, "If my story ends abruptly, do not mourn the actor. Mourn the silence that fame imposes. Seek the truth in the quiet spaces between the letters." The letter's contents, shared selectively, ignited fresh waves of passion. Fans analyzed every word with most understanding, debating whether it hinted at external pressures or internal battles. Conspiracy theories from the weeks following his death resurfaced, but in this sacred space, they gave way to a deep meaning. The envelope became a symbol of unfinished business, a final gift that kept his voice alive. As midnight approached, the atmosphere shifted toward quiet acceptance. A respected elder from the Xinjiang community performed traditional blessings, invoking ancestral spirits to watch over Menglong's journey. The rhythmic chants blended with soft recordings of his singing voice, creating a soundscape that felt both ancient and timeless. Children of crew members, too young to fully grasp the loss, placed drawings of smiling princes and singing stars at the memorial. Their innocence offered a poignant counterpoint to the adults' heavy hearts, reminding everyone of the legacy extending beyond one lifetime. In the small hours, as many began to disperse with heavy but strangely lighter steps, close friends gathered for one last private moment. Stories flowed freely. Yu Menglong's habit of sending encouraging texts to juniors on tough shoot days, his secret love for stargazing far from city lights, the way he would hum melodies while reviewing scripts, searching for emotional truth. These anecdotes painted a portrait of a man who, despite fame's isolating walls, cultivated genuine bonds. One actor recalled a conversation where Menglong expressed a desire to retire early, to direct films that mattered, perhaps even return to his roots in Urumqi to mentor the next generation. He wanted more than the spotlight, the friend said. He wanted meaning. His departure on September 11th forces us all to ask if we are living with that same purpose. The dawn light creeping over the horizon signaled the end of the vigil. The final walk, though completed hours earlier, continued metaphorically in the hearts of those present. Mourners carried away not just sorrow, but a renewed commitment to honor his memory through kindness, advocacy for mental health in the industry, and support for emerging talents from underrepresented regions. Flowers continued to pile at the memorial stone, messages accumulating like a living archive of love and loss. In the end, Yu Menglong's funeral transcended ritual. It became a profound meditation on life's fragility, the price of dreams, and the enduring power of human connection. The man who had enchanted audiences with fictional tales left behind a true story more compelling than any drama, one of ambition, vulnerability, mystery, and ultimately, grace. As the sun rose on a new day without him, the rain from earlier had cleared, leaving the world washed clean. Fans and stars alike departed with tears drying on their cheeks, whispering farewells that carried on the breeze. Yu Menglong, the legend whose last walk united a fractured world in shared humanity, rests now. But his spirit, like the dove that refused to fly, lingers with us, urging us to live boldly, love deeply, and question the scripts we are given. On September 11th, 2025, a star fell, but in its descent, it illuminated paths for countless others. His final farewell was not an ending, but an invitation to continue the journey with open hearts and watchful eyes. In the quiet moments that follow, when we revisit his films or hear his songs, we will feel him still walking beside us, forever young, forever cherished, in the grand, sorrowful, and beautiful theater of memory. May his soul find the peace that eluded him in life, and may his light guide us through our own shadowed windows toward brighter tomorrows. The last walk of this legend echoes eternally, a testament to a life that, though brief, burned with unforgettable brilliance.